watched it. We got a good amount. Look at that. But after watching the movie Happiness Is, I thought about what makes me happy and what I love doing, and that's playing rugby. And today I'm going to teach you a little bit about the sport, how it's played, the positions, a little bit of history, and I play on the rugby team here, so that's what makes me credible. And I pulled most of the information from a website that the rugby school in England mans, and they post information on and stuff on that. The sport started in 1820, like soccer. It's just a bunch of school kids on the yard. They were kicking the ball around, and then in 1823, one of them decided to pick the ball up and start running with it. And back then, the ball was made out of pig's bladder, so it wasn't that oval shape you see today. It was more of like a circle and just kind of like a soccer ball. And then they started making it more oval shaped and so on. And back in the day, when they would score a try, that's like a touchdown pretty much. It was called a try because in order to get the point, you'd have to kick the ball at the net. And it was like a soccer net, and if you scored on all the kids in the net, then your team would get a point. These games could go on for 3 to 5 days sometimes, and they actually made rules after that said if no team had scored in 3 days, then the game was over. But if a team had scored, then they would keep playing like to 5 days, and they would keep going. I'm going to tell you, yeah, that's okay. So some of the positions, can I write it on the board? Or?
Sure.
All right. You've got your forward pack. That's all the really big guys and the guys that like hit a lot. So here is the start of the forward pack. These two guys, the 1 and 3, those are what you're called props. Those are the really big guys that are like don't have that good of hands. Their job is to run into people and to stop people, like the other big guys. You have your 2, the hooker. He's called the hooker because when they get in this big scrum, the hooker's in the middle, and the guy rolls the ball. Has anybody ever seen that? No? Like the big group? So he rolls the ball in, and the hooker basically hooks the ball back for his team, and he tries to get it. And then you have your 4 and 5 here. They're called the locks. They're really tall. And their job is to give the hookers and the props, they give them support with their tallness, so they're pretty much the balance of the scrum. And then outside you have your flankers. These guys, their job is just to cause havoc for the other team, pretty much. They do whatever they want. They go in, they tackle, they do most of the tackling. And then in your back row, that's the guys that run a lot. Those are the guys that really score the ball. That's their job. You have your 10 right here. That's the fly half. He's basically like the quarterback of the team. He calls all the plays. He runs all the plays. And out here is your scrum half. He's in every play, and he just tosses the ball out to the fly half. That's pretty much his job. And then on the 2 wings, you have your 11 and your 14. This is your left side winger. He's the weak side. And then this is the other winger. He's on the strong side, the right side, because that's the position they pass out to. And these guys are usually the fastest on the team. They're really good at running. They score all the goals and the tries. And then you have your inside and outside center here. Those are more meteor guys. Usually they do crashes is what they call it, and they just run in and hit the other team, hit the other backs. And lastly, I'm going to tell you about some of the terms of rugby. You have a knock-on. So say the 9 passes to the 10, and the 10 drops in front of them. That's called a knock-on. It starts the scrum where all these guys get together. It's like a big huddle. And so if you knock it on, if you drop it in front of you, that's what a scrum comes from. And then you have a line out. So if one of the backs kicks it out of bounds, they have something called a line out, and the hooker takes the ball and he throws it over his head to these locks in here. So they line up in a line and they just throw it out, okay? And then you have scrum, try, and nowadays after you score a try, which is 5 points, then you get to kick it, like a field goal, kind of, and that's 3 points if you make that. And thank you. In conclusion, I now hope you have more information and are more knowledgeable in rugby terms and positions and how it's played. And if you ever see it, if you watch it, you'll know what's going on. Thank you.